All because of one thing you said when you were young, cutting ties with her. Lucy, your childhood friend with autism, would rather stand under the blazing sun and watch you from afar than show up in front of you. But in your past life, you kept avoiding her because of her condition. It wasn't until a car crash, when she rushed into the fire and chose to die with you, that you finally understood the feelings she had hidden all along. So after being reborn, the first thing you did was go find her. When you appeared in front of Lucy, she looked like a child who had done something wrong, lowered her head in panic, pressed her lips together and whispered, "Sorry," because she had disobeyed you. Back then, you had strictly told her never to appear in front of you again. She instinctively stepped back, wanting to hide, but her thoughts and her body moved in opposite directions. After one step, she froze stiffly in place. You froze for a moment. You never expected the first thing she would say after your reunion to be an apology. After saying that, Lucy stared silently at the ground and retreated back into her own closed-off little world. You had known since childhood that she had autism. Before the two of you met, she barely spoke at all and spent all day staring blankly at the floor. The doctor said it was because she was too trapped in her own world and barely cared about anything outside it. But after you appeared, everything quietly changed. No matter how much Lucy's parents tried to persuade her, she wouldn't react. But the moment you showed up, her eyes would lock onto you and follow you non-stop. If Lucy's world had once been nothing but darkness, then you were the only light in her eyes. Later, after receiving treatment for a while, she got much better. She was willing to speak and her condition steadily improved. But ever since the two of you cut ties, you had barely heard anything about her and didn't know how well she had recovered. Thinking of this, you looked at Lucy. "Did you come here to see me?" Lucy still kept her head down, staring at the ground without the slightest response. You didn't rush her, you just waited patiently like that. After several minutes, she finally nodded slowly. "Then is there something you wanted to tell me?" She gently shook her head again. You stood there awkwardly as the air instantly fell silent. You scratched the back of your head. For a moment, you had no idea what to say. Lucy, however, wasn't in any hurry. She just kept staring at the ground, lost in her own daze. Looking like that, she could stay completely still and stare for an entire day. You were the one getting anxious for her. The driver standing by the car saw the whole thing, anxiously tapping his foot and muttering to himself, "Miss Lucy, every week you come and wait outside Mr. Jack's school gate. Now that you finally got to see him, why aren't you saying anything? Even just saying I missed you would be enough." As he thought this, the driver sighed in frustration. Suddenly, a loud growling sound from someone's stomach broke the awkward silence between them. You blinked, confirmed the sound had come from Lucy's stomach, and asked her, "Are you hungry? You haven't had lunch yet?" Lucy's eyelashes trembled. She finally lifted her head and looked at you in confusion. "Hungry?" You told her that when her stomach growled, it meant she was hungry. Lucy gave a soft, "Oh!" then lowered her head and started staring at the ground again. You helplessly patted your forehead. Right, you had forgotten. Lucy's way of thinking was different from most people's. Normal people would think about eating when they got hungry, but in her mind, that idea simply didn't exist. "Come on, I'll take you to lunch." You smiled, took her hand, and walked toward the cafeteria. The gesture felt natural and familiar. Back when Lucy used to space out, you would also hold her hand like this and take her home. Lucy froze for a second. Her eyes slowly moved to your tightly held hands, and then a faint smile appeared at the corner of her lips. Seeing the two of you start moving, the driver quickly followed, afraid something might happen to her. Her parents had specifically told him not to leave Miss Lucy's side for even a second.